Hello all, Old Geek here, and I'm going to be browsing through a magazine, maybe do another one tomorrow, and I had a look at Carcass Crawler 1 first, and then I looked at Carcass Crawler 0, the one that was only available originally through the Kickstarter, and I was a little bit struck by how good Carcass Crawler 0 was, and then how poor Carcass Crawler 1 was, and it was sad to see that they were rehashing material from Carcass Crawler 0 in Carcass Crawler 1. So I'm hoping now I have a chance to have a little look through Carcass Crawler issue 2 that they don't do more of the same. This of course is the fanzine that is produced for Old School Essentials. It's actually written by the creators of Old School Essentials, and it's available from various download outlets for a small price. You can get it in a physical form, printed on demand, I believe. But this is the PDF. And this is Carcass Crawler issue 2, the official Old School Essentials zine. I've said before how much I hate the term zine. I don't mind magazine or fanzine. The word zine itself just feels like lazy and slangy. Yeah, really. Right, so what we got in this one, we have got Phase Elves and Wood Elves, Town Services, Hiring Retainers, Quick Equipment, Snake Cult, Dungeon and Bestiary. I do hear a lot of people pronounce that word bestiary. No, it is bestiary. Bestiary. Well, either bestiary or bestiary. It's a short E. And energy weapons. Right, I can already see I'm not a big fan of lots of type of elves. Phase elves, now wood elves, okay. Town Services, Hiring Retainers, Quick Equipment, I can see the use of that. Snake Cult, Dungeon and Bestiary, absolutely. Energy weapons, we're into sci-fi realms, and that's not for me. Artwork, pretty cool looking statue. Don't particularly like the image at the front, it looks a bit cartoony. Looks to be somebody running away from the nasty statue, but feels a bit cartoony to me. Feels a little bit cartoony. Right, okay. Yeah, they've taken off the bad bit of the artwork for the internal piece and kept the good bit. Right, written by Gavin Norman, of course, responsible for OSE, Old School Essentials. Quickly becoming my favourite version of D&D, because it is a version of D&D. Those who say, oh, it's its own game. No, it's BX with AD&D bits and pieces. Simple as that. In a very easy to read, very well presented, very solid format. It's excellent. Okay, a little bit of art. People zapping a... Oh, look. You've got lightsabers and energy guns, and I know WG4, Forgotten Temple of Tharis done the Wand of Force was very lightsabery, but it didn't have to be presented that way. But they're taking on a mummy, right? Welcome, welcome. I've already done a little bit of an intro based on the cover, so let's just see what we find. Introduction. Too many kindreds of elves. Yeah. Following the tradition laid down by J.R. Tolkien, Fantasy Game has always featured many kindreds or subspecies of elves. There were 3 in Tolkien. Does that class as many? I describe that as sufficient. Didn't mind the addition of drow as bad guys. The otherworldly phase elves and the secretive wood elves. Look, wood elves, Sylvan elves. Fine, they are Tolkien-esque. Phase elves, otherworldly. I can see I'm not going to like them. I can tell you that already. And there's this too many options thing that they always do in Carcass Crawler, because they have to say, look, here's lots of options, but for all that is good and holy, don't just throw them all in like a big kitchen sink, because that's rubbish. Phase Elves. Old School Essentials is principally inspired by the 1980s Basic Expert game and the 1970s Advanced First Edition game. Yes, but it is basically those two games. It's Don't keep making out it's a new game. It's just... However, the Phase Elf class, however, is inspired by the 1974 original edition game with its idiosyncratic rules whereby a player character elf is able to switch between the fighter and magic user classes in between adventures. I like first edition AD&D multi-classing, whereby you have to split your experience and advance them both together, rather than chopping and changing. I don't like chopping and changing. I didn't mind humans having the chopping and changing in AD&D because it was incredibly rare and very hard to qualify for, and was essentially a complete life path. Wood elves. Secretive elves dwelling in wild sylvan forests are undoubtedly one of the most commonly encountered tropes in fantasy fiction. Of course they are. They're proper elves. They are elves. Okay, so they're going to present these in the form of a racer's class version, and then a race that can be a variety of classes, because OSE does both. And here we have the separate race and class optional bit. I've just skipped on too far, I do apologise. And that's how I play it. That's how I'm playing OSE at the moment. I will allow racer's class, but I like my players to use the AD&D style rules. Right, Phase Elf, demi-human class. Why don't they use the term demi-human in modern games? It's all humanoid now. Demi-human was different. It made playable humanoids were demi-humans, and it's worth having that difference. They're slender. They're small. Well, they're smaller than Tolkien elves, but bigger than D&D elves. Int has to be high. Don't use any armor. And they speak Elvish, Doppelganger, Dragon, and Pixie. Okay. Arcane magic, spellbook, magical research. All types of weapon and armor. They were fighter mage. It is as simple as that. Why, look, the single class elf needs 4,000 XP. Why do these need 2,500? What penalties, what drawbacks do they get to have that reduced so much? Oh, dual persona. Right, two independent but interconnected phases. So they can't use all their abilities at the same time. They have to switch between the two. It might even be split personalities. And different alignments. So you're playing a schizophrenic elf, basically. Good idea for a bad guy. Don't think I particularly like the idea for a player character, but for a bad guy, why not? Why ever not? And their stronghold is an extra-dimensional space. Possibly otherworldly terrain. No sentient creatures, okay. But they can construct a stronghold inside there. Can they take anyone else in there? Is it just a solo thing? Are they living alone in a stronghold? A cottage? Okay, let's have a look at the Wood Elf. Suitable languages. Common Elvish, Bugbear, Dryad, and Gnoll. Yeah, are Gnolls really woodland creatures? They are small and slender, yep, so they should be. They are aware. Hard to surprise. They cannot wear armor heavier than leather. Oh, keen eyes. Divine magic. Druidic magic, I believe. They're good at foraging and hunting. Okay. Absolutely fine up until now. Need a bit more XP, because yes they do. They've got decent fighting skills to go with the druidic skills. Hiding abilities. Yeah, all the usual elvish stuff. with druid spells, basically. And they can't use the best armour, hence slightly slower XP progression than regular elves. Fine, not a problem. Elven fighter druid, essentially. Good stuff. Nice and traditional. Okay, phase elf as a race. It's a playable race. I'm not going to go all through the what's-its. But they can be acrobats, assassins, fighters, illusionists, knight, magic user, ranger, and thief. They get penalty to constitution and bonus to dexterity. And they've got the dual persona thing. Okay. Okay. Right, they have to be dual class. Okay. Right. So you have to allow dual classing. See, what I tend to prefer is the dual classes are the race as classes. So if you play a race as class elf, you are a fighter mage. A race as class halfling, you are a fighter thief. Either that or choose one class to focus on. I'm not... In terms of a game that... Yes, I don't mind multi-classing in AD&D, but this is OSE with bits of AD&D, and I'm quite happy to just drag back the multi-classing so it is the race as class. So it's quite limited. There are plenty of options in the game. There's enough options to keep people happy. So this essentially forces you to use that. Wood elf as a race, +1 wisdom, -1 charisma. Why the charisma penalty? Why a wisdom bonus? I guess wisdom is only really a benefit from mental magical attacks, so it's extra resistance to that. And charisma interactions, maybe they're just shy and nervous. They're reclusive. Okay, okay. I can see that. Ranger's probably their best class, and druid, understandable. Yeah, fine. I don't have a. I get a +1 to attack with missile weapons. Good. Okay. I don't mind that. I think I think that's done okay. Town services. This article discusses some services commonly used by adventurers when in town, including price guidelines. 5 silver pieces for a pint of ale? I've been undercharging the players in my game. Grossly undercharging them. I charge them 5 silver pieces for a night in the inn, including breakfast. Food, cheese, fruit, porridge. A pint of ale is 5 times the price of a piece of fruit or a piece of cheese. Same as a... Okay, yeah, they've balanced it out okay. I mean, you buy a bowl of stew for 5 silver and an ale on the side for 5 silver, 1 gold piece for a meal. Okay, that's fine. I've just got to put my own prices up in my game. Inflation in the game world. Yeah, I'm charging like 1 silver a night for... If they were to get a horse, it'd be 1 silver a night. So, and a silver for an ale and a silver for a meal. And okay, I need to put them up. Okay, we got jewelers. Oh, these are the services in town. Excellent. Yeah, always good. Always good to have those sort of things. Known to read through them all. OSE is pretty sensible. It'll have got them about right. In fact, I've made my own jeweler in the town. Saxius. Traders and provisioners, money changers. Yeah, I mean, I make these sort of things up as I go along. I don't need strict rules, but I can understand them being helpful for people. Haggling rules. Yeah, I die. That's all right. That's fine. Not a problem. Hiring retainers. Yeah, always useful. Always really, really useful to have methods for hiring extra fodder especially at first level. Number of applicants by settlement size. Okay, I mean, I would class mine as a small town. There's more than one D3 adventurers there. There's more like 5D6. Because that's the way I've done it. It's just the way I've done it. But you can do it however you want, really. But what sort of price are we looking at? Spending a night buying rounds and greasing palms in taverns costs 50 gold pieces. With only a 50% chance of success. Posting notices. Oh, I didn't know about all these. I don't mind these sort of rules. Don't mind these sort of rules. Yes, I make things up as we go along. Oh, okay, these are the wage rules. Loot share. That's the level I came up with for the standard. I didn't copy it from here, but yeah, 1 gold piece and half share. That's pretty much what almost all of the available retainers will ask for in my game. So, fine. Yeah, I agree. Got that right. Rules for treasure sharing. I just use standard division. Standard, you get the value of whatever you bring out, the dungeon, in XP, but when you come to sell it, you might not get the full value in terms of gold. I think that's a fair way of doing it. Reaction rolls in there, good, fine, absolutely fine. Reaction rolls are good rolls. Quick equipment. Equipping a newly created characters. Okay. If people want to roll for their equipment, they can. If you want to do it the quick way, you're more than welcome to. I won't force it on anybody. To be honest, I won't even offer it to anybody. If they know it exists, they can use it. I won't. It doesn't take very long to buy equipment, for God's sake. OSE, basic D&D, is so simple. It takes 2 minutes to outfit a character. At most. Right, here we go. Snake Cult Monsters. 8 sinister new monsters that may be encountered in the ruined temple complexes of a cult, especially those worshipping snakes. Yuan-Ti, maybe? Alabaster Serpent. Slender, 5-foot-long serpents of pure white with eyes of violet, bred by snake cultists as dangerous guardians, placed inside treasure chests and urns in suspended animation as a deterrent against thieves. Yeah, like that. Hydral. 12-foot-long, rainbow-banded, multi-headed snakes. Ouch. Oh, 5 hit dice, 22 hit points plus 10 hit points per head. These are rough. These are tough. Attacks 3 to 5, bites 1d6 plus constriction. They've got no. Okay, they've got no poison, but you have to sever the heads. Yeah, each head has 10 hit points separate to the main hit point total. To kill it, body or all heads. Okay, they're separate. So aim for the body. You're all right. Then maybe they're not as tough as I really thought they were, but they do a lot. They'll do a lot of damage with all those attacks. Yeah. Not something to throw at first level characters. Hydral Statue. Better AC. Loads more hit points. Ouch. Ouch indeed. Those look pretty horrific. 15-foot tall, 5-headed serpent statues. I like them a lot, but you're going to have to get to a decent level before you encounter them. Mushroom Head Mummy. Mummified corpses riddled with fungus. Oh yeah, these are like what they encountered in Dungeons of the Slave Lords and things like that. What the Myconids make with all the mushroomy zombies. Yeah, fine, brilliant. Like that sort of thing. Nice and gruesome and icky. Path Guardian, what's this? Guardian Zombies. Bound to the stake at which they were sacrificed. Guardian zombies created from the decapitated corpses of people who trespassed on land claimed by evil cult. Long bronze barbs inserted into the hands as wicked claws. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. They make no noise. And they attract wandering monsters. Okay, they're not particularly deadly. 2 claws doing 1d6 each. They're not particularly deadly, but you could throw one of them. Some of them at low-level parties. Can they be turned? Can they be turned? Probably as zombies. I would guess so. Puffball mummy. Yeah. Hit a mummy. Sets off a spore cloud. Yep. Yeah. Like the idea. Like the idea. These mummies are not undead. Okay. So you can't even turn them. Do like that art for the Path Guardian. That's very nice. Not so good for the Puffball mummy. It's a bit wonky. Zombie Snake Guard, Zombie Snake Priestess. Okay, these are going to be very much like Yuan Ti. There's zombie versions of Yuan Ti. Cool. Oh no. Zombie Snake Guards, they are ritually sacrificed humans. So they've got no snakiness actually in them. But the Zombie Snake Priestess, human head and torso atop a great serpentine tail, that's more like the Yuan Ti abomination types, isn't it? Or Spirit Nagas. A zombie Naga. Yes. And it's got the gaze, mental slavery. Yeah. Excellent. The Tomb of AUM-PHARATH. A level 3 to 5 dungeon adventure. And it's going to have all these zombie snake things in it. Fantastic. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. I'm going to flick through. You can obviously pause on that page if you wish to spoil it for yourselves, but don't. Energy weapons. Not for me. Don't care. Don't know. Don't care. Care less. Care specialists. Care even less. Item-based encumbrance. I've seen this on the character sheets. I don't use it. I like to just simplify it. And I go with the most basic version of encumbrance for OSE, where they have a basic encumbrance level set by the armor they're wearing, and then if they are carrying a significant amount of treasure, they drop down one step. That's all. I class a significant amount of treasure as a large sack of loot. It's quick, it's easy, and that's the way I like it nowadays. But item-based encumbrance, I'm guessing, it's having players track it. It won't be too difficult, but there'll be a lot of rubbing out and a lot of adjusting. Character sheets can become a bit of a mess very quickly. But for those who want a more realistic style of play, fine, go for it, enjoy. It's good to see. I don't mind these sort of articles anyway, because they add to the game. And I don't have a problem with additions. You can always... They're optional rules. Any additions are, by their very nature, optional rules. And optional rules are almost always a good idea. Just don't assume that every game you join they're going to be using all of them. It's up to the DM. But that explains how it all works. 10-foot pole takes up 2 slots. Don't put people off carrying a 10-foot pole. Adjudicating traps. Okay. I don't mind the players moving really slowly looking for traps. Because if they're prodding for traps, if you think about it, listen. What's that? That tapping, I hope it picked up in the video. You can hear that. If they spend time walking very slowly and tapping a lot, I make a wandering monster check. Risk and reward. If you have to balance it out, don't you? You have to balance it out. You have to balance out that care with the likelihood of a wandering monster, because what is more risky? The chance of suddenly being attacked by a randomly generated group of giant lizards, or falling down a pit. Up to the players to decide. And isn't that what adventuring is all about? So these, yeah, risk and resource trade-off. It's got their exploration challenges. This, yeah, I might read this. I don't feel I need any real addition to my own game though for that. So good for a new DM. It might offer some sort of guidance for a not so new DM, but again, it's the sort of thing that you should see in magazines and fanzines. It should offer those bits of help, because not every DM has the same amount of experience or the same style, and may encounter players who play differently and wonder how to adjudicate this new style of play. We're all learning all the time while we're playing. So yeah, Carcass Crawler 2, much better than Carcass Crawler 1. Much better. There's useful stuff in here. Even the phase elf, I thought when it was going to be like an alien elf, I didn't dislike it. I might not use it as a player character class, but I'd certainly consider using that as a bad guy. I think that'd be very interesting. Wood elf, fine with that. Absolutely fine with that. Good to see some new monsters, and good to see a little scenario in there. I didn't look at the scenario because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who might want to play it. I like this issue. Carcass Crawler 2 is a lot better than Carcass Crawler 1. Well done. Going in the right direction. Okay, that's been me, the Old Geek. Hope you've enjoyed this quick browse through. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.